All right, applying the identical analysis for what is my stationary maintenance at third-party facilitating venue Alvarado Gardens, where the entity is maintaining the specific environment and a natural one where you're seeing engineered light both outside and inside my office and also inside of my apartment. This is the maintenance of the light source at Alvarado Gardens at 1810 North Alvarado Street. This is impossible light, not only because the light source is over Upland Public Library at the same exact time, which is 450 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California. And you can see that light source as I am standing facing it inside of the Upland Public Library, and that is along, I believe that is D Street and Euclid Avenue, where you'll see that light source. And then you're also looking at the light activity, and the entity's illusion is such that the demonic environment, the specific environment, is that the light source is the explanation for the so-called sunlight that's on the ground inside and cycling around inside of that venue. There is no possible way that that's the sun. I'm capturing that light source while I'm at the library at 10:57 is when I capture video. 11, 12, 1, 2. This is 4 hours later at the same venue of the Upland Public Library. That's capturing the pattern of conduct. It's a very exclusive sky space. The entity is maintaining a light source in blatant contradiction of nature, but that's a pattern of conduct. The entity is maintaining light source into the doorway of the leasing office here at Alvarado Gardens, and you're paying attention. The entity, whatever the light source hits, it creates the shape of that object. This is the shape of the door, and it is elongated, and it hits the shape of the door, lays flat and goes inside underneath the structure and underneath the doorway. And this is the engineered light. This is impossible also because the entity is maintaining the light source, analyzing it based on the assumption it's the natural environment. It's not the natural environment. The light source is here, and this is speaking to what is the impossible maintenance of the sun over the roof or the window of the Upland Public Library that is on D Street and Euclid Avenue, where it was, by the way, remaining as I captured in images and in video for a prolonged period. This is the maintenance of the light source here at Alvarado Gardens, mutually exclusive to its placement and anywhere in Upland, California, including the Upland Public Library. The entity's light source has been here since quote-unquote rising, and that is during the 7 o'clock hour. So let's count. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. This is 7 hours. The maintenance of the light source here. It is speaking to what is also not the sun at the Upland Public Library. Again, the Upland Public Library engaged in multiple acts of criminal summoning while documenting the entity. This is the people of the state engaging in the criminal obstruction of justice. It is the pattern of conduct, summoning the entity that is stalking heavily in helicopters and in police, fire, and ambulance vehicles, exactly like you see here in Los Angeles, while LAPD heavily documented today. Most of my videos documented today, you are seeing the LAPD engaging in stalking, engaging in demonic activity, which is terrorism. They're doing it in the specific environment. Under no iteration of any natural environment is sunlight going to manifest in the size of a rectangle, and then also manifest on the file cabinet, while you're also comparing it to the maintenance of presence over the Upland Public Library. All right, this is very plain, direct evidence of what is the pattern of conduct. The entity is maintaining the specific environment, and the hallmarks are the maintenance of a light source in violation of nature, common sense, and science, and also the distinct use of what is engineered light, which, by the way, the presence of this light is not reliant upon the presence of the light source. When you are paying attention to the environment, the placement of engineered light is very often relying upon your not paying attention to the environment because it's a false illusion, and the engineered light is present when the light source is not even a logical explanation for it. Exhibit A would be my ceiling inside of my apartment. Okay. Where you're looking at the pattern of the blinds on the ceiling. The entity is engaging in an ongoing pattern of conduct while it is stalking heavily. This is occurring during the workplace. The presence of that engineered light inside of my office is documentation of what is terrorism. It's also for what is an ongoing molestation of my person. It's an unlawful touching while an entity is persistent and determined to keep me under surveillance. They are also engaging what is ongoing terrorism while they continue to pose an impermissible threat, they being the people of the state, in concert with the corrupt law enforcement agency, LAPD, group stalking in helicopters in concert with this entity. They are also engaged in the pattern of conduct in the specific environment, which is proven beyond a reasonable doubt, by the way, while the entity is employing the use of children. And again, that's the grounds upon which the people of the state are losing custody of their children by the use of such evidence in child protective while Child Protective Services will understand legal grounds, federal bases upon which the people of the state are losing custody of their children, where they're, for example, living at the crime scene. Okay, this is the regularly and routinely engaged in, by the way, using children. Like I said, giving you the example of the children in the library at Upland Public Library. You're going to prosecute also the state. That's Upland Public Library is a state facilitating venue, and they are engaged in terrorism, stalking and monitoring, including in the private space. That's the sex offender that monitors and keeps engaging in the demonic behavioral pattern of maintaining presence, and they're doing it through children. You're going to prosecute the entity, all the ways in which it's engaging in it, and it employs children. This is going to be a basic federal charge and grounds of federal prison and substantial damages. That is a threat to the life. It's also sexually violent, and you're including children in that. And these are the ways in which the people of the state are engaging in what is abuse of those children, contribution to the delinquency of those children, and also engaging in what is that sexual violence and terrorism via children. Okay, this is the specific environment, and there is no sunlight. There would never be any light source that's remaining for the duration of the day, like you've seen thus far, but also over the Upland Public Library at the same time. I want you to pay attention to what's going on here. This is maintenance of presence in the path. All right, the entity is monitoring vicariously through the people of the state who keep activity ongoing, who keep maintenance in the path in close proximity, while the entity is then stalking directly in relevant position. That is planes and helicopters. You have the people of the state that maintain activity and presence, while the demon-possessed, the state actors in police vehicles and fire and ambulance vehicles and in their venues are monitoring me right now. So I'm showing you up close, in close proximity, what the entity is doing here. They're monitoring through that presence, okay? They're doing it under the light source. So I want to be clear. That is conclusive evidence of what they are in fact doing, because that's why the light source is here. There is no natural explanation for the presence of this light or this engineered light, and that's how you know both what they are and the reality of their concern. And it is not talking to each other, it's monitoring me. All right, that's the malice of the demon possessed. It is currently 2:54 p.m. This is P.O.C.